Hi everyone, it's Rachel, and today I'm going to do the Diva cup review. So if you saw my intro video, then you know that this cup doesn't really work for me, but it is a great cup and it works for a lot of people, so I'm going to try to give it a fair review today. So the first thing I'm going to do is let you look at the Diva cup and the inside, which is kind of cool. So it says made in Canada, and then on the other side it says the Diva cup. And then it also has some measuring lines in the center, which is kind of neat, 15 and 7.5 milliliters, and then it also has a quarter ounce and a half ounce as well on the inside. They are slightly raised, so they are sometimes difficult to clean, so that's kind of a downside, but it is really neat that the measuring lines are in there. Not all cups have that. And then same with the stem. The stem is very squishy, so sometimes also hard to clean, so I use Q-tip to clean that out. So the capacity to the holes, which is right about there, if you can see it, it's very, very, very small, is 20 milliliters, and this is the size 1. The size 2 holds 25 milliliters to the holes. And the holes are also very, very small. And this model is 10 years old, so I think that they've kind of fixed that for the newer version. I do have a newer version here kind of in the background that's never been opened. It's kind of hard to see in the camera through the box, but if you can see, the holes do look slightly bigger, so hopefully they fixed that for the newer versions. But I found these holes very hard to clean, so you have to use a toothpick to clean out the holes, so just side consideration there. And then the capacity all the way to the rim is 30 milliliters, and that's both for the size 1 and the size 2. The diameter for the size 1 is 43 milliliters, or millimeters, and then the diameter for the size 2 is 45 millimeters. So that's the only difference between the small and, size 1 and size 2 is the diameter. And then the cup length, so from the rim to right about here, not including the stem, is 57 millimeters, and that's the same for the size 1 as well as the size 2. And then the total length of the cup, including the stem, is 70 millimeters. And again, that's the same for the size 1 and the size 2. And so that's the main issue I had with the cup. Not so much that the total length is 70 millimeters, but that the cup length is so long. I just kind of, the lower part of the cup kind of pressed on my bladder, and it wasn't ideal for me. So I preferred a slightly shorter cup length. And then I already talked about the holes, but just so you know, there's 4 altogether on in the Diva cup, and this only comes in clear, so this is there's no other colors or anything like that. It is relatively cheap, especially if you're in Canada, so it's about $39.99, and you can get that pretty much anywhere at Co-op and Safeway. I know that there's different grocery stores depending on the province you're in, so wherever you are, hopefully you can find it at a local grocery store or pharmacy. And like it says inside the cup, it is made in Canada, but it is popular worldwide as well. It's popular in Australia as well as across Europe, so you can find this cup many other places in the world as well. The softness of the cup is what I'd consider a medium firmness, or like perfect firmness, if you will. It's really quite nice. And I'll just show you a simple fold, so a simple like U or C fold. And then we'll just watch it open, and it kind of just pops open like that. So it does pop open quite easily, and yeah, medium firm. It's not super soft, and it's not super firm like a Yuki or anything like that. So the texture of the Diva cup is quite nice. It's a very nice quality silicone, and it's also what we call like a seamless silicone, and that there's no seams around it on the outside, and so it was obviously made all in one. So very well made and good quality silicone. One thing that it says in the pamphlet that I thought was noteworthy is that the Diva cup is supposed to sit lower in the vaginal canal than other cups. So I think that's mainly because the cup is so long. If you set it up any higher, it's probably going to sit beside your cervix and then leak. And then the other thing is that they want it easy to grasp. So they want it like right there, so you can just kind of reach in and grab it and pull it out quite easily. So I believe those are probably the two reasons why they say that it sits slightly lower. But like I said, it didn't work for me sitting lower because that's where my bladder is and it kind of presses on my bladder. So I prefer that my cup sits a little bit higher up. And then when I first bought this cup 10 years ago, it said that the lifespan was 10 years. They have now since changed those recommendations to 1 year or whenever you see deterioration. So if you feel like the cup is no longer its proper quality, then they recommend replacing the cup. And so I would recommend you could probably use it longer than a year as long as it looks good and you haven't used any harsh chemicals or anything, you're taking care of it. It should last many, many years. It's just kind of to save their butt legally and then also to kind of increase revenue. Obviously, if you're not buying or replacing your cup every 10 years, then you're not putting a lot of money into the company. So if you replace it every year, then they get more money, which makes sense. And then I'm just going to quickly do a cup comparison for you with a couple cups I have here with regards to the softness, because I did say that this was a medium firmness. So in comparison to the Lunette size 1, I would say the Lunette is slightly softer. You can see it's getting a little bit squished there. So yeah, I would consider it a little bit softer than Lunette size 1, but Lunette size 2 I've heard is a little bit firmer. So if you have a Lunette size 2, that may be slightly different. And then in comparison to the Super Jennie, which is super, super soft, and also just a little FYI, they are the same diameter. So they're both 43 millimeters, both the Super Jennie and the Diva Cup. So they're the same. So softness-wise, here we go. Super Jennie is just crushed. It's super, super, super soft. And that's mainly because of the rim on the Diva Cup. The Diva Cup has that double rim, which is what helps pop it open, and it also makes the rim feel a little bit firmer, whereas you can see the Super Jennie it does not. It doesn't have that double rim, and it also has the seams that I was talking about that the Diva Cup doesn't. So if you can see the seam down here, I know it's hard to see on the camera. There's another seam on the side, maybe you can see it right down here, so 2 seams. So that's, I mean, a lot of cups do have seams, but just an example of a seamed cup, whereas the Diva Cup does not. Same as the Juju, it's also a good quality silicone. It's all made in one piece. So just another example of a full piece seamless cup. So yeah, so that's my review on the Diva Cup. So overall, it is a really great cup. If you live in Canada, I highly recommend giving it a go, especially if you have a medium to high cervix. If you have a low cervix or a really sensitive bladder, then it may not be the cup for you, but otherwise this is the way to go. All other cups you'll have to pay quite a bit in shipping and also in currency exchange, especially right now with the dollar the way that it is. So yeah, give it a go. Let me know if you have any questions. Please subscribe to my channel, like this video, and join our Facebook group. Bye everyone!